Welcome all y'all to another episode of FYC Film Review. I'm your host Gagne. With me, my partner Naldo. How are you, buddy?
What's up, man? How's it going, everybody?
I think everyone's doing great because we are back to a newer film. We
Is
have
that why
better,
people are doing great? Because we're
yeah,
back to newer films?
absolutely. Well, they're probably full on Halloween candy too. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
What do we got in store for them today?
Oh, we got a new one. We got a newer movie that we both haven't seen before. And this movie came out in 2018, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, Hereditary. And I've read a lot of good reviews about it. So I'm glad we did this. This was very interesting to say the least.
I'm too. A little anecdote. We didn't see it in theaters because my wife hated the little girl who was clicking, if you will, making that sound. And I think in the previews they made it like a very much prominent thing, and it's not as much in the
It's
movie.
not.
But
No, it's not.
yeah, I somehow missed it in theaters. I'm not a huge new horror fan. You know, the
No?
jump scares, the possessions, I just, I'll get to them when I get to them, but I don't run out to go see them. However, this one surprised me, especially because Ari Aster, who did this film, did Midsummer, and I saw
Yeah.
Midsummer before I saw this, and I was actually a little disappointed by Midsummer, and so I was hesitant after that to say, do I want to go all in and buy into the hype that this is one of the better horror films of recent memory.
Yeah. I bought into the hype, and so I was kind of had that mindset that this is going to be really scary, and I think it was scary. It was scary in a whole different way. Aside from the paranormal stuff, the stuff that happens, the real stuff that happens to this family, it's nightmarish. From losing a kid to having this failed relationship with your kid to having just this issues with your husband. It's
Mm-hmm.
awful. It's awful stuff, and you kind of like mix that in with paranormal stuff. It's just this whole movie for me, it was so tense. There was never a moment where I felt like there was some kind of lighthearted or it let me breathe. I couldn't breathe throughout this movie. It just felt so tense, and I appreciated that's something that a lot of movies don't tend to do.
Yes, I thought it was the sweet spot for the running time. We were kind of right at that 2 hour mark.
Yeah.
I didn't find a lot of lull moments. You're dead on. The tense. There's these little tricks that he does. I don't know if it's the cinematographer or Astor himself, where you're changing scenes, and that cut scene where you're like, okay, oh, we made it through the night.
Yeah.
This horrible thing happened. Whether he's like seeing his sister in the closet or whatever, but then it's daytime, but then it's nighttime again, and he just instantly goes back to you.
Yeah.
Did you notice that cut scene where they're showing the house and it's dark and it's light and it's dark again, and it's just
Yeah.
like, oh my god, like we're right back into
Yeah.
another horrible thing or another horrible night of haunts, and
Yeah.
very clever.
It doesn't let up. It does not let up. And that scene when Charlie dies, the sister,
Mm-hmm.
it's so awful that I forgot that I was watching a paranormal movie because stuff like that is just awful. And then again, just to mix it in with paranormal, it's nightmarish, and it takes on a whole different type of meaning where it's a scary movie, but it does something to you. I don't know. I felt gross afterwards, and I didn't like the feeling that I felt
Oh,
afterwards
okay.
watching it.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
it's definitely jarring. So I
Yeah.
loved that aspect of not expecting that this
Hmm.
little girl is going to die.
Yeah.
Featured a lot in the previews. You assume, like most horror films, the family all bands together and they escape the haunted house.
Yeah.
And then nothing, like you said, to do with the paranormal activity. Oh, she just dies in a freak accident.
It was
Um,
awful,
you
awful, awful accident.
somehow it's done in a way where you feel for this teenage boy who was forced to take his sister to a
Yeah.
party, got high, she accidentally ate nuts and has an allergy. I mean,
Oh,
just
oh my gosh. Yeah.
just awful. And I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it at all. I thought maybe she would die. I did not think she was going to get beheaded.
Beheaded. Yeah.
Just awful.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Tony Collette. Is that her name? Tony Collette?
Yes, Toni Collette.
I think she's great.
She's brilliant.
She's brilliant. I absolutely agree. The way she carries this movie is just fascinating. It's almost like you see this whole movie through her eyes, and you're just kind of in the moments with her, and the way she's fantastic. I just wanted to call that out. She did such a great job.
She's wonderful. I feel like ever since The Sixth Sense, like I was like, who is this? And
Yeah.
now I watch almost everything that she's in, shows or movies. And yeah, there's some true like terror on her face and strife from what her family's going through that just comes through. Like most actresses in these type of films. Like if you don't get somebody who can act, like comes across campy, and she just does it in a way where I'm scared of her at the end of this movie.
Yeah, she goes crazy. And there's a scene that I thought was really frightening. It was so subtle. They show the grandma who passes away in the beginning. They show her as she's in the shadow, and you just see she's there. She's physically there, but she's almost hidden in the shadow. And I just thought that was just frightening to me. This whole family goes through so much crap that I don't wish on anybody ever. But
The poor son, man. Oh, it's like the penance for that accident. Oy. It's rough on him, and it's tough to watch.
Yeah. He's good. He's really good. Yeah, I like that actor.
Highly recommend. He's good and old as well. People shit on M. Night, but I enjoyed his movies. I enjoyed this movie, and that kid's really good in that as well.
Yeah, agreed.
It's this movie, you're right. What I appreciated about this movie, a lot of new stuff, jump scares. That's the way they're trying to get you. This like frightening imagery coming right at you at this moment. You don't need to do that in this. Right. There's so much tension built in stuff seen off camera. When she's at the end possessed and hiding in this little corner like a spider, when he's over his dad, who did not make it, by the way.
Yeah, he got on fire.
it's just I'm waiting for something to happen, and I'm like almost to the point of like that roller coaster edge where you're going to get sick because you're about to drop. And sometimes stuff happens and sometimes it doesn't, and they do it in a clever way where you don't feel it coming.
Yeah, absolutely. That end scene where how the way this movie ends is it turns out that there's a demon. There's a demon all along who the grandma who passes away in the beginning, she belongs to a cult, right? A cult. And they worship a demon, and this demon needs to take over a body. I mean, am I mistaken?
Nope. You're dead on.
Yeah.
And I think it's great because we just did Rosemary's Baby. And so the endings are very similar in the regards to a main character realizing that this is a cult, and they're sucked into this. However, this had story. This drove it through. You uncover mysteries that Toni Collette's mom is part of this. She's got pictures of her being showered with gifts by this cult because they're conjuring the demon of mischief. I forgot the name of it, but I thought that was interesting. I was like, it wasn't Loki, but
Loki. I was gonna say Loki.
and so you uncover it piece by piece by piece, and then realize that the son is ultimately who they're trying to sacrifice to bring this demon a human body. And it wraps up so beautifully in that way at the end. Just, man, start to finish. I loved it. I was in.
So he became the leader in the end, right?
Yeah. I mean, ultimately that's what I got. Like they didn't really show it, but you could see like he's just standing there and he's being.
Because originally it was Charlie who was the leader, right? Because her head was on that statue. That's what kind of confused me a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get that aspect of it, but there were moments where they mentioned that this demon wants possession of a male because they're jealous that they don't have a body. And it's not apparent why they crown all of them. Maybe it's just because it's the family lineage of the grandmother to the the grandkids, but it's brutal.
It is.
No family makes it out.
No,
it's just
no.
Like, this is what happens, and sorry, like there is no happy ending here.
Yeah. Let's rate it. You want to rate it?
Let's do it. I think I went first last time. You're up. We're gonna go with the clicks that the
clicks
lovely little Charlie makes.
Okay.
How many?
How many? Okay. I'm gonna go. I want to go with a 4, but I'm not there yet. I'm gonna go with the 3.5. Okay. I do appreciate it. I think I just need to watch it maybe one more time. But it's a movie that doesn't let up. You will be on the edge of your seat, wanting to figure out what's happening. Maybe not. It's so tense. You're always so tense. It never lets up. I felt like I couldn't breathe through this whole movie, and I can appreciate when movies do that because it moves you. It gives you a sense of dread. It doesn't wrap up in a nice bow, so don't expect anything like that. So 3.5 clicks for me. Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Movie. Yeah.
I'm going with confidence, man. And I'm going to push it to the 4.5, but 4 clicks. the more I think about it, the more I enjoy this film. The
Yeah.
more it makes me actually want to rewatch it, because it isn't
Yeah.
just filled with jump scares, because there is a story to it. Because I feel like these are the type of movies where there are little other crumbs left throughout
Right.
the movie that you just didn't notice.
Right.
Because the first time you're so tense that you're not able to really absorb the entirety of the film. Filled with great performances. I mean, rookie director, I mean, wrote and directed this, got great performances out of Gabriel Byrne. Let's not even forget the dad, like, is a good actor as well.
Yeah.
Like, it was so good. Very strong. Gonna go with
Yeah.
4.
4. Okay.
Yep.
4 clicks, whatever.
This is made it into, you know, my rotation of horror films that, like, I love.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a while since I've had one that I've really enjoyed and thought was clever and new. So
Okay. Yeah. I mean, this movie was so good that I stopped taking notes during the middle of it
Yeah.
because I was so into it. So,
Yeah.
you know,
That's why we don't usually cover movies we haven't watched before.
yeah. Yeah. So, all right, cool.
We'll be back with another one here soon, though. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I've been your host, Gagne, and with me, my partner, Naldo.
Yeah, definitely go watch this movie, guys. Again, it's not a fun movie, but I think a lot of people could appreciate this movie. Just go in it with an open mind, and just prepare for a lot of dread and tense moments. So, yeah,
Perfect to go with your Halloween candy.
yeah, there you go.
Until next time.
All right, guys, have a good one. Watch this movie, turn the lights off, and enjoy it. It's Halloween season, so go enjoy it.
Bye.